As Kepler steps in, pulled past the first baseman Soderstrom into right. Here comes Martin. Twins win.
What's up, baseball friends? I've missed you. It's Tom. I've been away for a few days up at the North Shore, hanging out in Duluth and spending some time on Lake Superior. It was an especially calm day on the lake today, giving the best ripple effect of those City Connect jerseys that the Twins debuted tonight was Lake Superior. I thought that was particularly fitting. But I'm back, and it's a good time to debut a new feature that I'm going to call Twin Case You Missed It. And in case you missed it, twin case you missed it. So really quick, we're going to run through some of the events that have taken place up until this week, and then we'll talk our usual system recap stuff for today's games Friday. So kind of kicking things off, the Twins so far this week, they won 2 out of 3 against the Rockies and then won the first game of their series against Oakland. So 3-1 to start the week so far. That's nice to see. Particularly noteworthy has been the performance of Carlos Correa, who's been red hot. You see here from Baseball Reference, the first Twins hitter since Joe Mauer to have at least 14 hits over a 5-game span. Some very fun, remember some guys' names mixed into that list there from Baseball Reference. But maybe the biggest storyline of this time so far is that Alex Kirilloff got demoted. Austin Martin was the guy coming up. So actually there's kind of noteworthy on both of those ends there. Kirilloff basically it got to the point where this had to happen. He had a 653 OPS in the season. Kind of looked like maybe he was coming back to life in late May. He homered in back-to-back games. But since then, the last dozen games he played for the Twins, he had a 442 OPS. He's struck out in 12 of his 34 plate appearances over that stretch. So Kirilloff really struggling. The Twins have some other options they could go to. They have some other types of players they could go to, and that's what they decided to do. Even with Matt Wallner really hot in AAA, hitting a ton of home runs, they go back to Austin Martin, who I do think adds a lot more to this lineup in general. Fit-wise, you could say, hey, this team needs some help against right-handed pitching. Matt Wallner would have been a good fit there since he's a left-handed hitter to replace Alex Kirilloff, also left-handed, obviously. But Austin Martin, even though he is right-handed, he brings a lot more positional flexibility to the table. He brings a lot to the table on the base paths, and takes good at bats, gets on base. So we'll see, how things go from here. But happy for Austin Martin to be getting a chance after he was playing amazing for the Saints. So that was a big deal. Switching gears to the prospects. So here are some notes from the Tuesday through Thursday games, really honing in on the top prospects in the system, just so you know what they're up to. Walker Jenkins has not played this week. If you've been looking at the game logs, freaking out, wondering why this guy hasn't played, the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles haven't played a game this week yet, up until Friday today, which we'll talk about their game today, or games, I should say. But they have every single one of their games this week so far has been postponed due to inclement weather. They're in Lakeland, and they have not been able to play. So Walker Jenkins isn't hurt. That's not why you don't see anything in his game log. It's just Fort Myers hasn't been able to play. Manuel Rodriguez is hurt, however. He has not played because he's on the injured list. Brooks Lee is off to a nice start for the week. Although he had a day off, the 2 games he's played so far this week, entering today, 5 for 10 with a walk, a double, and a home run. The Saints hit 8 home runs in a game yesterday, and Brooks Lee was one of them. Luke Keishel's been incredible for the Wichita Wind Surge. He's 7 for 12 this week so far. He had a home run. 936 OPS entering today in his time in Double-A so far, so he's barely skipped a beat from what he was doing in Cedar Rapids. Super impressive to see that out of Luke Keishel. And then Corey Lewis was rehabbing. Now he made it all the way back to Wichita, the team he was supposed to be with. This was his Double-A debut this week. He threw 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, but only 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And again, that was in his Double-A debut. A couple other things I want to call out on the Twins side was they debuted a new Homer vest. You remember that fishing vest from last year? They have a Prince theme vest this year that once again came from Pablo Lopez. And then again, they debuted their City Connect jerseys tonight We'll see those in the highlights a little bit more. Wanted to show you some details before we get to that. But I do like the overall vibe and how I think the City Connects, they shouldn't look like a regular jersey. This is a special jersey. This is a special opportunity to have something different, different colors. And so I appreciate that the Twins kind of went outside the box, outside of their comfort zone with these, I think. So I do appreciate that. Anyway, again, that was Twin Case. You missed it. Let's get on to the regular stuff. Simeon Woods Richardson got off to a rough start and gave up a grand slam in the first inning. Almost got out of this jam. Bases loaded, 2 down, but cannot finish it off. Grand slam in the first inning. How often does a team come back to win in that situation? And Max Kepler kind of teased it at the intro, but he was also the guy that got them into this game. Max Kepler's 3-run home run here got the Twins back into this one. The pitching staff did a great job of keeping them in this game as well. And then, as you'd seen earlier, Kepler, the guy to also finish it off in the debut appearance of the City Connect jerseys in front of a big crowd on Flo Rida night. Max Kepler gets it done. Again, a gritty win. Twins coming from behind to win this one 6-5 in the bottom of the 10th inning. Max Kepler had a huge game. In addition to that, got drilled with a 99-mile-per-hour hit by pitch that he stuck in, obviously stayed in the game. Max probably not really thought of as the toughest Twin, I would say. But, gritty, again. Gritty performance by the team, gritty performance by Max. Woods Richardson, those were the only runs he gave up. So he kind of righted the ship, and then the bullpen goes 6 innings, only gives up 1 run. Duran, especially at the end game, keeping the Twins going, giving them the chance, again, in the bottom of the 10th inning to win that one. Huge win. David Festa, first pitch of his outing. The very first pitch, he hits a guy. The second pitch, that guy steals second base. So this is a rough start to this outing for David Festa. He also gave up a 2-run home run later on in the first inning here, you'll see. But he did strike out 10 batters in this outing. Here it is, the home run. He got behind this guy 3-0 and then just gave an absolute cookie. You could tell he was kind of frustrated with himself after he released that one, essentially. Knew it was out on contact. But again, Festa, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, just that 2-run homer from the first inning. No walks and 10 strikeouts. No walks and 10 strikeouts for David Festa over 6 innings in this game. Remarkable outing for him. Really one of his better, more complete outings of the year. And when this guy's on, he's just terrible hit against, as you're seeing from these highlights. Lots of awkward swings. A lot of guys not picking up the ball real well. 3 legit pitches from Festa's fastball, slider, and changeup. He is kind of a true 3-pitch guy, but he really varies his pitch mix. Great outing from him. Marco Raya also pitched tonight. Here he is leading the boys out in Wichita. Marco Raya, it's kind of been an up-and-down season for him. You see his year-to-date totals coming into this one. They're still keeping him pretty limited. But tonight he goes 4 innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. So 4 innings, 1 run, 5 Ks for Marco Raya. That was on 51 pitches, so that was a limiting decision that he only went 4. That wasn't because he wasn't pitching well. Also fielding his position very well, turning a double play. He's a great athlete, is Raya. And just as kind of a special spotlight, I want to show both Festa and Raya, their performances tonight and their previous 3 outings before that, just to kind of give you a look at what these guys are up to of late. Both of them pitching well. Festa a little bit more than Raya. Both of them have had some bumps in the roads, and I think we kind of can expect that, particularly from Festa at this point. But man, when both of them are on, it's really impressive. And wanted to call out too that Andrew Morris followed Raya in that game and finished off the game. So those are the only 2 pitchers for the Wind Surge, and Morris goes 5 shutout innings. He now has a 1.61 ERA in 27 1/3 innings in Double-A. Very impressive. Here are the notable hitting performances. Rickson Wingrove was a guy they signed out at Indy Ball, originally from Australia. Had a couple nice games for the Mighty Muscles today. They finally got games in today. Finally. So Twins and Saints and Surge win. Colonels lose, Muscles split. Thank you so much for checking this one out. We will talk again tomorrow.